Shipra, can you please mute yourself?
So good evening, students. Today's session is on cost of capital. We'll discuss about the basic concept of cost of capital, and then we'll move to the bifurcations about different costs of capital. Along with that, what are the different formulas which we have or the numerical problem associated with this particular topic. Okay. So let's start. What is the meaning of cost of capital first? Okay. If you remember, I think in the initial classes, we have already covered up what is capital is all about. Because as we know that whenever the company needs to start their business, they always need to see about the different capital option or from where they can raise the fund for the company. Okay. These capital formation may be in the form of equity, maybe in the form of debt, any type of long-term loan, preference shares capital, or we can say any retained earnings. Okay. So in this case, we always need to remember the cost of capital, I mean the different source of capital from where we can actually generate, we can actually raise the fund for the company. Okay. Now, the important concept under cost of capital is nothing but we need to assess the cost of acquiring the fund. Okay. For example, if you are, you could say, raising a debt capital, let's suppose debentures, and you are paying 8% interest on that. Okay. So in such a cases, what used to happen, the company is liable to pay 8% interest on the amount raised by the debt capital. Okay. Similarly, if we talk about, let us suppose any loan amount you have taken and the interest you are paying, let's suppose 10% on that. So 10% is the cost which the company is paying in order to utilize that particular 10 lakh rupees at 10% per annum interest. Okay. So the important consideration in the cost of capital is how the company is basically raising the cost, how the company is basically raising the capital option, and what is the cost which the company is paying in terms of cost, in terms of interest which they are liable to pay on any of the capital options. The capital options I told you already: debt, preference capital, retained earning, and equity shares. Okay. Now, in this particular unit, what exactly we will gonna to discuss is how I could say, or what approach which the company should follow in order to minimize their cost of capital, so that there should be less burden in terms of earning capacity of the company. In terms of earning capacity of the company. Okay. Now, what actually we need to cover up in this particular topic, that is, in order to acquire any capital option, which option would be best suited for the company? Okay, these options may be your debt, maybe preference, maybe retained earning, maybe equity shares. Okay, now you can see the first definition right now. The cost of obtaining fund, that is average rate of return that the investor in a firm would expect for supplying funds to the firm. Means what amount of return which the investor is expecting from the company. That is again the returns option we are talking right now. Minimum required rate of earning, it is about the, like for example, if the company is earning 15% profit, but their cost of capital is 12%, means what is the you could say earning of the company is only 3%. Okay, so it is very, very important that your cost of capital should always be less than your earning of the company. That is why earning is 20%, cost of capital should be less than 20% in order to generate some sort of profit for the company in a financial year. Okay, is it clear? I think so. What is cost of capital? Everyone? Is this clear, please, everyone? Kindly confirm. Students, I think I cannot hear anyone. Yes. Ms. Shipra, please you can unmute yourself. Okay, because I have to change my screen again and again. Okay. Yeah. Next important part about the basic concept of cost of capital. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the first part, that is component, which is called individual cost of capital, or we can say that composite cost of capital, which is called WACC, which is called weighted average cost of capital. Now, what is the meaning of component? That is about the individual cost of capital. Now, as I told you, that first of all, we have, you could say, individual option like equity share capital, debt capital, or we can say that we have preference share capital, retained earning we have. So definitely company do have various options from where they can raise the capital for the company. Okay. Now, whenever we need to evaluate the cost of an individual source of capital, that is called your individual cost of capital, the first option. Okay. Now, when the company need to find out on an average, what is the cost of capital which the company need to incur in order to raise the various options available in the cost of capital. Okay, that is called WACC, which is called weighted average cost of capital. So whenever we are assessing only a single source of cost of capital, which is called the individual source component, the first part. Composite means whenever we are actually taking an average of all different options of capital for the company, and on an average basis, what is the cost which is being incurred by the organization? Is it clear, please, everyone? The first point, individual and composite. Haji, is it clear, everyone? Or shall I give the example?
Yes, sir. Please give any examples.
Any
Yeah,
example?
sure.
Yes, real time.
Yes, yes, sure. See, for example, let us suppose you have started your own business, okay? And in that business, you have taken equity share capital from different investors. On equity share capital, let us suppose you are paying 7% dividend. Okay, for example. Even same like you took the loan from Punjab National Bank and you are paying an interest of 8% on that. Okay. For example, you take you could say your on you could say your preference share capital as well, on which you are paying 5% you could say rate of return. Okay. What's the point in this particular case? Whenever you are assessing the source of any capital individually, for example, if I'm only assessing what is the interest or what is equal to dividend, which I have to pay on equity, that is called the individual component. But for example, if I have four sources of capital, equity, preference, debt, or loans. Okay. For example, one we have 8%, 7%, 5%, 10%. So on an average, what is the cost that the company is paying by integrating all the different options? So okay, whenever we are taking an average cost, that is called a WACC, weighted average cost of capital. And whenever we are considering only a single cost element or single option of your capital, that is called the individual component. Clear? I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Fine. Any more doubt, please, in this part? The first part, that is about the individual component and the composite component. Hanji, please kindly confirm, students. Yes, students, please kindly confirm. If it is clear, then we'll move to the next part, please.
Yes, sir. Move to next part.
Yeah, sure. Now, in the next case, you can see that the second form of cost of capital which we have, that is called the average and marginal. Okay. Now, what is average? Which I told you already, WACC, that is weighted average cost of capital. Means on an average, what is the cost to the company when it comes to different sources of capital option? Okay. But when we talk about this second option called marginal, anyone having any idea what is the meaning of marginal cost? First of all, any idea? What is marginal costing or marginal cost?
So the capital which is uh, pre in advance, it is fixed for payment.
No. Anyone having any idea what is the meaning of marginal cost? Haji, anyone? Marginal cost. You can see that cost increase due to new fund raised. cost increase due to new fund raise. Anji, anyone in the class?
Cost minus selling price.
Okay, fine. See, try to understand what is the meaning of this particular point over here. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the marginal cost, the meaning of marginal cost is nothing but the cost raised due to new option. For example, let us suppose you are using a mobile postpaid right now, and the per month rental you are paying is 500 rupees. Just taking very basic example right now. Okay. Now, let us suppose the company has increased their rate of postpaid plan. Okay. And now you are paying 600 rupees per month. So what is the marginal increase? Is 100 rupees. So any increase in the cost, any increase in the price, that is called margin. Previously, you are paying 500 rupees per month on your postpaid bill. Now you're paying 600. With the 100 rupees is the marginal cost. Understood what is marginal cost first of all?
Yes, sir.
Now, how this concept basically will be used in this particular case of cost of capital. Okay. Now, in this case of cost of capital, always remember whenever, like for example, like if you remember, I think in the last class we discussed leverages. Okay. The question was 40 lakh is the existing capital and the company want to raise 30 lakh rupees of additional capital. If you remember that example, I think. Okay. In such a cases, what happens whenever the company want to raise the additional capital? Okay. For that purpose, definitely they look forward some options to raise their capital option or capital amount. Okay. Always remember, for example, if I took the loan in the past when I started the company at 7% per annum. Okay. But now if I want to expand my company and if I want to raise the, you could say, fund and I'm taking loan from the bank again. But now the rate of interest, previously it was 7% when I started my company in 2015. But now if I take the loan in 2021, the bank is giving a loan at 9%. So what is the marginal cost is 2%, 9 minus 7. I hope so. Am I clear with this? Yes, students. I hope so. Am I clear with this? What is marginal cost? Understood? Any increase in the cost to the company whenever they are raising new funds. Anji.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Last one is explicit and implicit cost. Okay. Always remember any type of direct cost to the company which is being incurred on face or on front to the company when it comes to any charges, any fee, any taxation whatsoever. So any type of cost incurred to the company is called, which is direct in the nature, is called explicit cost. Or any cost which might occur on certain contingencies or due to any dynamic changes in the market or any sort of hidden cost, we can say, all these costs will come under category of your implicit cost. Okay, that may be anything, which may be any taxation, any legal policy changes, all would come in the category of your accounting part. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, everyone? This part as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So that's a very basic and important component of your cost of capital. Always remember, please. Okay? Anji, is it clear, everyone? Implicit, explicit, WACC, individual cost component. Anji, please kindly confirm. If it is clear, then we'll move to the next slide now.
So please explain again implicit cost.
Implicit cost basically any type of indirect cost, okay, which is not being mentioned in the time of legal documentation, in the time of you could say inception of the company, but these costs incurred on the base of contingencies, on the basis of any, you could say, unexpected events. Clear, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sure. Okay. Let's move to the, please should try to understand one more thing, because whatever topic which we will cover in this particular set, all are related topics. When it comes to capital budgeting, it is related to leverages. Leverage related to cost of capital. The next topic we'll start, it is capital structure. again, it's related to the previous topic. So please don't miss any single topic. Okay, even if you miss the classes, please go through the recording one. But I'll definitely suggest you to attend the live classes. That will be far better because we have a more clarity, more discussion with the doubt arises at the time of discussion in the classes only. Is it clear? Happy. So let's start with the next important part about features of cost of capital. Okay. The first point, as I told you already, what is cost of capital? It is, first of all, it is not a cost. I told you that the cost of capital should be designed in such a manner that it should always less than your returns, always less than your average earning of the company. Okay. Because, like, for example, if I'm generating some loan from the market, if I'm having some source of capital from the market, in that case, it is very important that your cost of raising the fund should always be less than your total earning or the average earning of the company. Okay, that is the very first point. The second point, again, reflecting the same thing, that it is a minimum rate of return which the company must need to earn so that you can match your profitability. You can match your average earning of the organization. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the next important element, you can see that because whenever we talk about any cost of capital option, we have basically these components. That is K equal to R plus B plus F plus O. The first part is K, which is called cost of capital. The R is basically expected return at zero risk level. Now, what is zero risk level? Any one of you can tell me? Zero risk level.
So there is no inflation cost.
No inflation. Okay. Anyone else? Anji, anyone else? What is zero risk?
Leverage
So there
is
is
low.
No. Please kindly repeat.
Leverage is low. No
So the
leverage.
marginal cost is low. There is no marginal cost.
There is no
Marginal cost involved.
marginal cost. Okay, fine. See, basically in this case, this particular part, zero risk level is nothing but it is the assured return which the company will earn always. Assured return in terms of, like, for example, if I'm investing into the government project, if I'm investing in any, you could say debt fund, I will always assure that this 8%, 10% return I'll always generate out of it. Okay. So zero risk level return or zero risk level basically earning of the company when there is no market changes or no market fluctuation. Okay. Second point is the premium for business risk. Because as you know that whenever we are running any business in the market, it is always important that the business always goes through a different cycle. Introduction, growth, maturity, decline, recovery. I think you remember it is a marketing topic. We'll discuss it later on as well. So as per the business standing or as per the business, you could say current situation, accordingly, business earnings always, you could say, deflect. Okay. Maybe the business may be at the boom at some time, maybe at decline at some time. So it is important that the business risk is again one of the most important components under cost of capital category. Okay. The next point which comes in this particular part is the any type of, you could say, risk arises. Okay, other than business I'm talking right now, any type of risk arises when it comes to finance. Finance is like, for example, uh, you took a loan from a particular bank, but suddenly what happened? Some loan rates have increased. Okay, so this is called the financial risk. Okay, financial risk is nothing but basically any type of risk which arises due to fluctuation in the interest rate. Okay, fluctuation in the interest rate because of the market conditions. Okay, so that would come under category of your financial risk. And any other risk now, other risk may be any government stability, environmental risk, any risk associated with the local government. So any risk other than these three major risk components, that is the part of your cost of capital. So always remember, whenever we are calculating cost of capital, it is very, very important that the company needs to keep in mind keep in mind about all these different components about the risk level. Okay, that may be your business risk, maybe your financial risk, maybe any type of, you could say, risk associated with the guaranteed one, that is about zero level risk, and the last one is any other risk which is mentioned on this particular point. Is it clear, please, everyone? Hanji. Any doubt, please, in this slide? Features of cost of capital.
Sir, slide is not visible, sir.
To you or to everyone, please? Is the slide visible to everyone?
Everyone.
Sir,
Slides
no,
are
sir.
not visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a minute, ma'am.
Okay,
But
sir.
I think there might be some technical issue. Just a minute, please. Now is it visible?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. Please note down this formula and this all type of risk first. Okay. I hope so you understood these 3 points.
Sir,
Zero
not,
level risk,
sir, not visible, sir.
not visible again.
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
So mine is visible.
Visible, na? Ma'am, you do one thing,
Yes,
Vinita
sir.
ma'am. Please kindly pin my screen actually. There are 2 screens you can see for IIBM. One is the speaker screen and one would be the presentation screen now. Okay. Yes, note it down, please, everyone. हाँ जी. हाँ जी. Clear everyone, please, this formula? I hope so. Okay, now we can start the next slide, everyone. The significance part.
Yeah, sir, clear.
Yeah, sure. The next part is all about the significance of cost of capital. Now, I think students, those who have attended the class of capital budgeting, can you please relate how the cost of capital and capital budgeting are related? Anyone? How these 2 points are related? Anyone, please? Because if you remember, we discussed NPV, we discussed IRR, we discussed so many topics over there. Okay. Anji. Because in capital budgeting, it was the one of the important consideration of cost of capital. Okay. Anji, anyone, please? I think you might have attended the classes of capital budgeting. How the capital budgeting and cost of capital are related.
So in calculating PVF.
Yes, definitely, because PVF is basically the the risk or the inflation which we have, and above inflation, definitely company needs to earn. Okay, so that is the part which we need to assess. Now, always remember, because I think you remember what is capital budgeting. It is basically the amount which the company needs to invest in order to start a project, in order to expand the company. I think we discussed about diversification of the company, for new product development. For each and every purpose, company always requires some capital option or always requires some capital amount. Okay. In such a case, the company needs to arrange funds, and whenever they need to arrange funds, they always need to plan about the different capital options. And for that purpose, you always need to assess about company's cost. Cost means which particular source of capital would be cheaper for the organization. Okay. So that would be the part of your cost of capital and the association of cost of capital with capital budgeting. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
That is the very first point. Second point is the determinant of capital mix in the capital structure decision, because the next unit which we have is capital structure that will start from definitely from Thursday onwards. Okay. Basically, what is capital structure? Capital structure is nothing but the composition of the debt and equity. Okay. Now, the combination and the percentage of debt and equity is basically all associated with the company's profile. I think if you remember, we discussed about debt and equity option. Higher debt, higher equity, lower debt, lower equity, each and every option having their own consequences. Okay. In such a case, it's very, very important for the company that in order to maintain the right balance of your capital structure, you always need to take the help of cost of capital decision making, because the cost associated with raising the capital is always one of the crucial decisions which the company needs to take. Okay. In such a case, sorry, I'm really sorry. In such a case, you always need to keep in mind how the company can actually maintain the right balance of capital structure so that they can earn or they can maximize their earning potential or earning or returns in the organization. Okay. Clear second point as well. Association of cost of capital with the capital structure. Clear, everyone? Please kindly confirm. If it is clear, then we can move to the next topic. The first 2 points. Shall we move to the third point, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Now, the third point which we have is about the evaluation of the financial performance. Now, as I told you, I think in the previous slide itself, how the company can evaluate the performance if their cost of capital is less than the return which the company is generating out of it. Because if the cost of capital is on the higher side, then company would be in the losses only. Company would be in the losses only. Understood, please? How the company can evaluate? Okay. Then last point we have is all about the basis of other decision making as well. Okay. Now, other decision making, which we are talking right now, in terms of dividend policies, working capital, in terms of, you could say, your capitalization on the profit. It's all about retained earning decision making. Means any other financial decision making is also the crucial part of your cost of capital only. Is this clear, please, everyone? Is this clear? Is this 4 points clear, please? The significance of cost of capital, where it is used, how it is used, how it is associated with other topics as well. If it is clear, then we can move to the next topic, please. Is this part clear, students?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Let's start with the next part, that is components of cost of capital. Now, as I told you that whenever the company need to raise the capital, they always need to take the help from different sources of capital options. Okay, that may be debt, preference capital, equity capital, retained earning, or it may be WACC, that is about the average cost of capital, which is being incurred on the company. Okay, so you please note down all these points because these are the 5 major topics we have in this unit. 2 or 3 topics will cover up today, and remaining WACC and other topic will cover up tomorrow. Okay, please note down all these 5 points. These are the major components of this cost of capital. Anji, please. Because there are 5 major subtopics which we have under cost of capital. Anji, is it clear, please, everyone? Note it down, these 5 points. We'll start with the first topic right now, that is cost of debt. Anji, please kindly confirm. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So we can start with the first topic of this particular unit, that is cost of debt. Okay. Can you please tell me what is debt first of all? Or what are the debt options is the company do have? Debt means what? Anji, anyone?
Shortage of financial assistance, and for this reason company need to take the capital from other sources on terms of sometimes some contracts or any other thing.
Okay.
This may be the date of any companies.
Anyone, please? Anyone else? What is cost of debt, or what are the debt options which the company do have, so that the company may need to incur some debt on cost on the debt? Anyone? Anji. See, first of all, what is debt? Debt, I told you already, means any type of, you could say, sources of funds where the company have some permanent, or you could say compulsory obligation in order to pay the interest payment. Whether the company is earning profit or not, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, because it is a legal obligation which the company has to pay to their debt capital or debt shareholder, or you could say debt capital raising. Okay, so in this case, always remember, whenever we talk about the debt capital, the company having permanent obligation to pay the interest on that. That is called cost of debt, first of all. Okay, these debt option may be debenture, maybe bonds, maybe loans, short-term and long-term loans, or any other debt securities which the company may issue to their shareholders. Okay, this is the first point. Now, when we discuss about this particular point, cost of debt, you can see that whenever the company is paying any cost of debt on long-term funds or long-term borrowing, These cost of debt is always after tax, because company is liable to pay taxes on that. Okay, so that is again one of the important consideration under cost of debt. Always remember the debt securities, which may be your debentures, maybe bonds, or any other debt securities, it may be issued to the shareholders on par, on premium, or a discount. Anyone having any idea what is par, what is premium, what is discount? Anyone having any
Par it
idea?
is face value. Par it is
Yeah, par
face
it is
value.
face value.
Premium is more than value from our share,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
discount is less than value of our share.
Yes, yes. Very good, very good. For example, I'll give an example. I think so for others, those who cannot understand this topic, this point actually. When we talk about the par value means it is a face value. For example, the company is issuing one debt security. Okay, that is 100 rupees per, you could say per share or per security. Okay, if the company is issuing 100 rupees share at 100 rupees only, that is called par. And if the company is issuing 100 rupees security, 110 rupees, so 10 rupees extra which the company is charging, it is called your cost on, that is called the issue debt premium. Okay, so premium is nothing but whenever the issue amount is always higher than the par value, which is called your premium amount. Okay, what is discount? For example, 100 rupees is the basic value or the face value, and the company
Na-
is issuing at 90 rupees, for example.
90,
So
yeah.
minus 10, that minus 10 is basically the issued at discount. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Understand? Sure. So always remember any security, which may be debt, which may be equity, which may be preference shares, or any other debt securities, there are always having these three options: par, premium, or discount
Di-
to issue any
hmm.
security. Is it clear, please? Anji, is it clear?
Yes, clear.
Sure. Now there are basically two formulas you can see on the bottom. That is when the redemption is not given, redemption is given. Please note down the formula first and I'll explain you what is the meaning of that. Please note down both the formulas. Yes, it will be note down fast and I'll explain you what is redemption, what is not non-redemption, and the meaning of different terms or different, you could say, the abbreviations are given in this particular formula. Okay, that we'll discuss now. Please, once it is done, please let me know when we can start discussing on this particular point. Because make sure the 5 points which I told you, there are 5 topics we have in the syllabus, okay, for this particular topic. So cost of debt and cost of equity, I think we'll cover up today, and remaining will cover up in tomorrow's class. Because this topic is again a very lengthy topic. Hanji. Is this clear, please, everyone? Note it down first of all. If noted down, then definitely I'll discuss with this particular point. Shall we start? Yes, Sunil. Shall we start now?
Sir, start.
Yeah, sure. See, first of all, we need to understand what is the meaning of redemption and non-redemption of the any securities or any financial instrumentation. Okay. When it is a redemption, redemption means basically a particular share or security which you purchase from the market. That security will be actually redeemed, means that will be encased after 5 years, after 4 years. I mean, the perpetuity is not there in that particular case. Okay. Means that particular share is issued by the company for a limited period of time. Limited means 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatsoever. Okay. So in that case, you always need to keep in mind about what is redemption. Redemption means when the number of years are given to you, when that particular security will be redeemed or where we will be encased by the company. Okay, is it clear, everyone? Redemption means. And non-redemption means when the security or any debt security issued by the company and there is no redemption period, means this security is issued by the company is for infinite period of time. That is called the non-redemption.
Yes, sir. That is the redeemable and irredeemable.
Yes. Redeemable and
Yeah,
irredeemable. Yes.
particular time है ना 5 year redeemable is a particular time.
Yes.
Issue. Okay.
Yeah, you are correct. Okay, for a particular period of time, it is called redeemable. And if it is not mentioned, if it is like company issued the debt security, but it is issued for lifetime, definitely it is called irredeemable. Clear, everyone? Now, the KD means cost of debt that we need to calculate. The KD means cost of debt that we need to calculate. Okay. Now, in this case, whenever we talk about the cost of debt, the cost of debt, we have basically certain components to analyze. Just a minute, students. 1 minute, please. Okay, so you can see that in this particular formula, we have I into 1 minus P upon NP into 100. What is I? Is the interest the company is paying. T is the taxation which the company has to pay. NP is the net price. Net price means basically the price after calculating or after adjusting your premium, discount, or any flotation charges. I'll tell you what is the meaning of this NP later on. But NP is the net price after adjusting your discount, premium, or any flotation cost or brokerage charges. Okay, into 100. Similarly, when we have redemption is given, it is called RV, that is redemption value, on which amount the redemption will be given by the company. NP net price similar to that, and rest is done. Okay. Now always remember, whenever we need to calculate any KD before tax or after tax, if we are including 1 minus P, that would be the part of your after tax. But if the 1 minus P is not mentioned in the particular formula, that is called before tax. So always remember, whenever we need to calculate KD means cost of debt, before tax and after tax. In such a case, if you are including 1 minus P, that would be the part of your after tax calculation. Is it clear, please, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Now we'll start very basic question of this particular topic. Okay. I think just give me 2 minutes of time. I have a very severe cold actually. So just 5 minutes of time. I'm taking a break in between right now, and then we'll discuss this question. Okay. Okay, students. So we are taking a break of 5 minutes, and we'll catch you back. I think at 6:05 sharp. Fine, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, students. So we should continue with the first numerical of cost of debt now. Okay. I hope I'm audible clearly, and I'm sharing my screen now. And yes, so you can see that the first numerical right now. Okay. Just read it once. All the four options. We will calculate the KD for all the four options. Okay. First of all. Okay. And in all the cases, we need to calculate KD after taxes. Okay. So you can see that the different options we have under which the company having different, you could say, debenture percentage. Okay, you can see that in the first one, it is 10 lakh rupees of debt, 8% debenture is the interest payment, taxes 50%. Second one, again 8%, but taxes are 60%. In third one, it is debenture at 8%, but discount of 5%. In second case, it is 10% premium on that. In the last one, 9% debenture and premium along with flotation cost. Now, what is flotation cost? You need to understand first. The flotation cost is any charges when it comes to issue of shares, when it comes to brokerages, when it comes to mediator charges. That is called flotation charges or flotation cost. Okay, tax is 50%. In all four cases, we need to calculate the KD option. Okay, and it is after tax as well. Remember one thing: these particular question, the four options we have, these all four options are which option, redeemable or non-redeemable? Hanji, is this redeemable or non-redeemable? Yes, students, please kindly confirm.
So,
No, is it redeemable or non-redeemable?
so there is
I think your voice is not clear. Please kindly repeat.
so
See, first of all, what we have to do in this case, that is about this particular debenture. Okay. Now, yes, pardon. Okay, I'm discussing first part right now. The 10 lakh debentures, rupees of debentures, 8% debenture at par. Okay, we need to calculate the 8% interest on that first of all. You can see that is 1 lakh rupees of, sorry, it is not 10 lakh. Okay, it is 1 lakh. Fine. So 1 lakh rupees, 8% would be 8,000 is the interest payment. Okay, interest payment. You can see the formula right now, please. I think formula I already told you. That is I 1 minus P upon NP. Okay, so I is interest is 8,000, 1 minus P. Tax is 50%, it is 0.5, divided by net price. Now, if it is issued at par, means 1 lakh rupees of share is 1 lakh rupees, so divide by NP is 1 lakh. So the KD would be 4%. KD would be 4%. Second case you can see right now. Please try to just focus on the question right now. I'll give the time to note it down. Okay. The second option we have 8% at premium of 10%, means 1 lakh plus 10% of 1 lakh, which is 1 lakh 10,000. So NP would be 1 lakh 10,000. Remaining, the taxation is 60%. So it is 1 minus 0.6. So it would 2.91%. In third option, it is 5% discount. So 1 lakh minus 5% of 1 lakh, which is 5,000. So 95,000 is the NP. Taxation is 50% again. So it is, no, 60% again. Okay. So it is 1 minus 0.6, 3.37%. And the last option is that we have flotation cost as well. Always remember, because in the last option, it is on premium first of all. So 1 lakh, 10% is, please make sure it is 1 lakh, not 10 lakh. 1 lakh, 10% is 10,000. So on 1 lakh 10,000, you need to calculate flotation cost. So 1 lakh 10,000 ka 2%. 1 lakh 10,000, 2%. So that you need to calculate for NP. That would be 10 lakh 78,000. Okay. So how to calculate NP now? 1 lakh 10,000 minus 2% of 1 lakh 10,000. Please don't try to understand. It is 1 lakh, not 10 lakh. Okay. So it is like for NP, it would be 1 lakh plus 10,000. Okay, 10,000. Okay, and when we talk about this particular part, that is about the flotation charges. So that should be like, for example, in this case as well, minus 2% of 1.1 lakh. So you will get the answer 1,78,000. No, that would be different, I think so. So 2% of 1,10,000, first of all, 0.02 into 1,10,000. 2,200. So 1,10,000 minus 2,200. 1,08,800. 1,08,800. Okay, that should be your NP for this last question. Okay, so the calculation would be 9% interest first of all. So that is 9,000 divided by 1,08,800 into 1 minus taxation, which is 0.5, 50%. Okay, 50 it is, yeah, 50%. Okay, so this is the way how we can calculate this part. And in this case, your answer should be, okay, your answer will be in this case is, 1 minute, let me calculate. It is 9,000 divided by 1,08,800 into 0.5. 0.041 means 4.1%. Here, everyone? Anji. It's very, very simple question. Always remember, flotation cost would be only after adjusting your discount and premium. Clear, please? Like first one is 1 lakh divided by, sorry, 8,000 divided by 1 lakh into 0.5. So that is 4%. That is correct. The first answer. Second is also correct. Third is also correct. Fourth, you have to then make some changes in that. Please copy this answer now. Have you noted down the question, please, everyone, or not? Yes, students. Have you noted down the question? No? Okay.
No,
Please note down fast the question first and then move to the numerical. Because this numerical is simple, but you need to understand the technical aspect of how to calculate the different cost of capital options. Okay. Please note down fast the question first and do let me know. Then we'll move to the answer sheet now. Yes, friends, clear? Everyone done with this question now?
Yes, sir, copied.
Yeah, sure. Just move to the answers now, first, please. And then we'll discuss one question of redemption one. Because I think so this one topic will be complete today. And the remaining equity and all will cover up tomorrow. It might take, I think, 3 days, 3 lectures, I think so. Because this topic is a bit lengthy. Hanji, done, everyone? With A, B, C, and D part. Yes, friend, done? Or shall we wait for a few more minutes? Hanji. Yes, friend, please kindly confirm so that we can start. Friend, please kindly confirm. Once done, we'll move to the one more question of redemption when the redemptions are given to you. Shall we move, please, to the next part?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
So you must have, sir, please explain this fourth one again, sir.
Sure. See, in this case, you can see that the price was 1 lakh is the face value, but it was issued at premium. So 1 lakh plus 10% of 1 lakh, which is 1 lakh 10,000. Okay. On 1 lakh 10,000, the company is basically charging flotation cost. Always remember, flotation cost will be charged only after adjusting premium or discount. Okay. In this case, we have premium. So 1 lakh 10,000 minus, minus 2% of 1 lakh 10,000. Okay. So that we subtracted, you will get 1 lakh 8,800. So formula is I upon NP into 1 minus taxation. So I is 9,000 and NP is 1 lakh 8,800 and taxation is 50%. So 1 minus 0.5. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure. Shall we move to the next part, please? Anji, shall we move to the next question, please? Yes, Viren. Now the next question. When the redemption is given to you, okay, please go to the question first of all. You can see that a company issue 20 lakh rupees of debentures at 10% redeemable debenture at 5% discount. Make sure, okay. The flotation cost is 50,000 rupees. The debentures are redeemable after 8 years. Means 8-year period of time. After that, the debenture would be issued. Okay. We need to calculate KD at before tax and after tax, and the tax rate is 55%. The formula is I plus, okay, the formula which we have written is the main formula actually. I into 1 minus P plus RV minus NP upon N divided by RV plus NP upon 2 into 100. Okay. Before tax, if you need to calculate, don't use 1 minus P. After tax, we have to calculate, use 1 minus P. Okay. So see this question now. See, I plus, first of all, the return is 10%. Okay. So interest would be 20 lakh 10%. Hanji. Interest would be 20 lakh 10%. That is 2 lakh. It is not 20. It is 2 lakh only. Okay. So this is only 2 lakh, not 20 lakh. Interest plus 1 upon N. Okay. Plus 1 upon N. Now 1 upon N is basically number of years. N is basically number of years, which is 8, plus price. What is the price? Basically 20 lakh plus NP. What is NP now? Please try to understand. Face value means the original price minus discount is given to you. So 5% of your 20 lakh, which is 1 lakh. Okay. Again, it is 1 lakh, not 2 lakh. This is your 1 lakh. Okay. Minus 50,000. So 20 minus 1 minus 50, which is 18 lakh 50,000. Okay. Divided by RV plus NP upon 2. RV plus NP upon 2. 20 lakh plus 18 lakh 15,000 divided by 2. Is it clear, please, everyone? Because what is redemption value? Redemption value is basically, you can see that redeemable debenture discount of 5%. Okay. So whatever redemption which we have, it is basically at 5% discount. Okay. You can see the formula as well. Okay. RV minus NP upon N, RV plus NP upon 2. Okay. So I think there are some error in the solution. I think so. Definitely. 1 minute, student. I think so. There are some error in the question. Okay. There is an error in the question actually. Okay, just a minute. I am just solving this question now. Wait a minute, please. Just a minute. This is the question we have, I think. Okay, and I'll solve this question now. Okay. Now you can see that in this question, first of all, the formula for redemption, when the redemption is given to you. Okay. So this formula we will use actually. Okay. That is KD I1 minus P RV upon N, RV minus NP upon N, and RV plus NP upon 2. Okay. First of all, what is I? Is the interest rate. How to calculate interest? First of all, interest would be, what is interest? 10% redeemable debenture at discount of 5%. Okay. So 10% of 20 lakh, which is 2 lakh. Is it clear? 20 lakh into 10%. Is it clear, please, everyone? Interest, first of all. Taxation is also given to you, T, which is 55%. Fine. Now, NP is very important part, net price. Okay. Net price, what is the net price basically? The face value, which is 20 lakh minus discount, which is of 5% of 20 lakh, which is 1 lakh, minus 50,000 is the flotation cost. So this would be 18 lakh 50,000, means 18.5 lakh. Clear? NP 20 lakh minus 1 lakh minus 50,000 is 18.5 lakh. Okay. What is redemption value? If nothing is given, it is par, 20 lakh. Okay. Now we can apply, and number of years are n, redeemable after 8 years. Clear, everyone? We'll apply this formula now. I, which is 2 lakh. Okay. 2 lakh into 1 minus 0.55 plus RV, redemption value, which is 20 lakh minus, sorry, plus 18.5 lakh divide by n, number of years, that is 8, whole divided by RV plus NP, which is 20, sorry, it is RV minus NP, okay? So 20 lakh minus 18.5 lakh and 20 lakh plus 18.5 lakh divided by 2, and whole, sorry, this complete value is being multiplied by 100. Multiplied by 100. Clear? Please give me the answer now. First of all, 2 lakh into this particular calculation, which we need to go for. So 2 lakh into 0.45, 90,000, I think. Okay, plus 20 lakh minus 18.5, which is 1.5. So 1 lakh 5,000, sorry, 1 lakh 50,000 divided by 8, 18,750. 18,750 divided by 20 lakh plus 18 lakh 50,000 divided by 2. Okay, so 20 plus 18 plus 38.5 lakh. So 38 lakh 50,000 divided by 2 is 19 lakh 25,000. 19 lakh 25,000. Okay, whole multiplied by 100. Please, important thing is that you must need to understand about the calculation part. Now it's very simple, I think so. So first of all, 18,750 BODMAS rule, 19 lakh 25,000. This is 0.009. Okay, plus 90,000 into 100. No, I think we are going somewhere wrong actually. 1 minute, please. RV minus NP upon N, we are done, is right. That is 1 lakh 50,000 divided by 8. RV plus NP upon 2, that is also correct. I think I need to check the formula. Might be there are some error in that. Just a minute, student. Okay, just 1 minute of time, please. Okay. This is in the complete numerator, and this is a complete denominator. Okay, fine. So I think in this case, this is complete numerator actually we have. Okay, so 2 lakh means 90 plus 18,750, then whole divided by this part. Okay, So remember, it is 90,000 plus 18,750 divided by 19,25,000. Okay, so 90,000 plus 18,750 is 1,08,750. Okay, let me copy this. I think so. So it is 1,08,750 whole divided by 19,25,000 into 100. Okay, so first of all we'll divide it. So 1,08,750 divided by 19,25,000 into 100. Now it's correct. 5.64. So answer would be 5.64%. Make sure it is in complete numerator. Okay, this the numerator is very separate. The denominator is separate. Clear, everyone? Because make sure these questions are simple, but calculation part is a bit tricky. Clear, everyone, please? Please note down fast. Hanji, is it clear, everyone? Please kindly confirm. Because this bracket won't come over here then. Okay. Not fine. This is a complete separate bracket. Student, please kindly confirm. I think so. Am I audible clearly? Is it clear, please, everyone? Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Dipta. Okay. Hanji, students. Is this part clear, please, everyone? Calculation part. Okay, definitely for practice question, you need to follow any book for redemption, redeemable, non-redeemable. Even during classes, we can discuss only one or maximum 2 questions. Okay. Is this clear, please, everyone? Please kindly confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. We can discuss, I think, this last question. Okay. Please have a look and do let me know. Is there any query in this question, please? Okay, in this case, again, you can say 10 lakh, 10% debenture, 5% discount, production cost 30,000. Same question, actually, it is. Okay, try this. If you won't be able to do so, we will discuss that. Okay, make sure this one is before tax, this one is after tax. Okay, please have a look and do let me know. Is there any issue in this question number 11? Yes, students, is it clear? Please go through with this question right now. You can use the NP 10 lakh minus 50,000 discount minus 30,000 is the protection cost. Yes, student, is it clear, please, everyone? This question is similar to the previous one only. You can note it down, this answer as well, and the question too. Do let me know, because we are done with KD now. Cost of debt, we are done. Redeemable and irredeemable. Tomorrow we'll start preference shares, equity shares, and retained earnings. And the next third class for this topic, we will discuss WAPC, because this topic is a bit lengthy now. Okay. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll cover up this topic, and then capital structure in the last two. That is because in this week we have Saturday class as well. Okay. So Friday, Saturday, we'll cover up capital structure. Hanji, is this clear? Everyone, note it down as well. Students, am I audible, please? Is this question clear as well? Similar to the previous question. Any doubt to anyone, please? In this variety of questions, cost of debt. Hanji. Students, I think, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Is it clear, please, question? Because I think I can sense from your silence that this topic is a bit tricky and difficult as compared to the last topic. Okay. So definitely, as soon as we'll progress in this particular topic, you will have a better clarity about how to solve such questions. Clear? Sorry. Yes, students, please kindly confirm. If it is done, then we will start preference shares from tomorrow. Is it clear, everyone?
Sir, please let me note.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Please take your time. And once done, please let me know, okay? So I will sign out the session now. Okay? Haji.
Yes, sir, copied.
Copy. Sure. Thank you so much. And any query, please, to anyone in this topic, KD? Because if you understood KD, KP, KR means preference and equity are very simple, similar to that. Okay, and that we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, any more query please to anyone? No, if not, then we will sign out for the day and we'll catch you tomorrow with further topics of KP and KR and KE. 3 topics we'll cover up tomorrow. Yes, friend, please kindly confirm. Shall we sign out for the day?
हेलो सर.
Yes, please tell me.
सर मैं आने में लेट हो गया था, मुझे रिकॉर्डिंग मिली थी क्या इसकी?
हाँ, रिकॉर्डिंग आपको IIBM के YouTube चैनल पे आप जाइए, वहाँ पर आपको सभी रिकॉर्डिंग मिलेगा फ्रॉम फर्स्ट लेक्चर ऑनवर्ड.
ठीक है सर, ठीक.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. Yes, friend, any more query please? If not, then we'll sign out for the day. Please kindly confirm.
सर कल कितने बजे क्लास है?
Same time, 5 o'clock. 5 to 7 we have a time for the class.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Ms. Shipra, Rishi, Poonam and Nandini, any doubt please? If not, then we'll sign out for the day.
Yes, sir. No doubts.
Okay. Thank you so much and we'll catch you tomorrow now. Okay.